You feel it, don't you? That restless energy when his name pops up on your phone. That sudden shift in the atmosphere when he's nearby. Something deeper than just attraction is happening here, and the angels want you to know, this connection was written in the stars long before you ever met. He's been carrying something about you, a secret he won't even admit to himself. While he's busy building walls and finding excuses to keep his distance, his soul is having an entirely different conversation. The angels whisper that your presence triggered something ancient within him, a recognition that transcends this lifetime. You didn't just stumble into his life by chance. You were sent. Your energy, your light, your very essence was meant to unlock something he's kept buried for years. And that terrifies him more than he'll ever admit out loud. The divine placed you on his path because his heart needed to remember what real love feels like. Not the safe, predictable kind he settled for, but the soul-stirring, life-changing type that demands he become the man he was always meant to be. This isn't about timing or circumstances. This is about destiny unfolding precisely as it should. Trust what your heart already knows. You are exactly where you're meant to be, doing exactly what your soul came here to do. He's not running from you. He's running from what you represent. The possibility of something real in a world where he has learned to protect himself with shallow connections and safe distances. The angels see his heart clearly. It's wrapped in layers of old wounds, failed attempts at love, and broken promises from those who were supposed to stay. Every time a woman got too close, every time he opened that guarded space in his chest, something went wrong. So he learned to love halfway, keeping one foot always pointed toward the exit. But then you came along. And suddenly all his carefully constructed defenses feel paper-thin. You make him want to try again, and that desire feels dangerous. It whispers of vulnerability he's unsure he can endure again. It asks him to believe in forever when his experience has taught him that people leave, love fades, and hearts break in ways that take years to heal. The angels want you to understand, his hesitation is not a reflection of your worth. It's about his fear of being deserving of what you're offering. He sees the light in your eyes when you look at him, and part of him can't believe that someone like you would choose someone like him. This push and pull you're feeling isn't rejection. It's a man wrestling with his own healing, torn between the safety of his walls and the daunting beauty of letting them crumble for you. While he's figuring out how to love without fear, you cannot lose yourself in the waiting. The angels are clear about this. Your light was never meant to dim while someone else finds their courage. You've been investing so much energy into understanding his heart that you've forgotten to nurture your own. You've been trying to interpret his silence, analyze his words, and search for signs in every text message. But healing isn't your responsibility. Loving yourself is. The divine didn't bring you this connection so you could shrink yourself to fit into his comfort zone. You're not here to prove your worth or convince him of your value. You're here to be the fullest expression of who you are, and let that truth do its own work. The angels whisper, stop making yourself smaller to make his fear feel safer. Stop lowering your expectations because he's not ready to meet them. Your energy is precious, sacred, and it belongs to you first. This is where your real power lies. Not in how perfectly you can love him through his walls, but in how beautifully you can love yourself while he decides. Your peace cannot depend on his healing timeline. Your joy cannot wait for his readiness. Keep living your life to the fullest. Keep pursuing your dreams passionately. Keep loving yourself wholeheartedly. Because the woman who does this becomes irresistible, not just to him, but to the universe itself. Every time he looks at you, he sees everything he's been afraid to become. Your authenticity forces him to confront his own masks. Your openness makes his walls feel suffocating. Your willingness to love deeply reflects back the capacity for depth he's been denying. You are his mirror, and mirrors don't lie. The angels reveal this truth. You trigger his growth not by trying to change him, but simply by remaining unaffected by his fears. When he pulls away, you stay steady. When he stirs up drama, you remain centered. When he tests your patience, you respond with grace. This consistency is foreign to him. Most people match his energy, meet his walls with walls, and respond to his distance with games. But you don't play those patterns. You stay in your truth, and that truth becomes a spotlight on everything he's been hiding from himself. He sees how you handle disappointment without becoming bitter. How you love without losing yourself. How you stand in your worth without needing external validation. And it makes him question every defense mechanism he's ever built. The angels say this is why the connection feels so intense for him. You're not just a woman he's attracted to, you're a living example of the person he could become if he stopped being afraid of his own heart. Your light doesn't judge his darkness. It simply illuminates the possibility of something different. Something is shifting inside him, and you can feel it even when you're apart. The angels are orchestrating an awakening that occurs in the quiet moments when he thinks no one is watching. He finds himself staring at his phone, typing messages he never sends. He catches himself wondering what you're doing, who you're with, and if you think about him the way he thinks about you. These aren't the thoughts of a man who's indifferent. These are the stirrings of a heart that's learning how to hope. The angels whisper that he's been dreaming about you, not just romantic dreams, but dreams where you're connecting with parts of him he forgot existed. In these dreams, he's more honest than he's ever been while awake. He tells you things he's never shared with anyone else. He allows you to see him without his armor. He wakes up confused by his own longing. You're becoming the standard against which he measures every other connection. Other women now feel flat, predictable, and safe in ways that suddenly seem empty instead of comforting. He's starting to realize that what he used to call peace was actually just numbness. The divine is planting seeds of discontent with his old patterns. That job that felt secure now feels suffocating. Those friendships that required nothing from him now seem shallow. The life he built to protect himself now feels like a prison. You didn't break down his walls. You showed him the sky beyond them. The angels want you to understand the rhythm of his heart. It beats toward you, then away, then back toward you again. This isn't cruelty. This is a soul learning to trust what it's never experienced before. Each time he pulls back, he's not rejecting you. He's catching his breath. The intensity of what he feels when he's near you overwhelms the parts of him that aren't healed yet. So he retreats to familiar territory, to the emotional distance that feels manageable. But here's what the divine reveals. Even in his absence, you're working on him. Your energy doesn't require your physical presence to continue its transformative work. While he's trying to convince himself he doesn't need what you offer, his soul is rewiring itself around the possibility of you. Then something triggers the longing again. A song, a memory, a moment of loneliness that feels different than it used to. He finds himself reaching out, testing the waters, seeing if you're still there with that same unwavering light. This dance isn't forever. Each cycle brings him closer to choosing love over fear. Each return teaches him that you're not going anywhere. Each retreat shows him how empty life feels without the connection you share. The angels say to have patience with this pattern. He's not playing games, he's learning to stay. The angels reveal a sacred truth. Your love is medicine for wounds he doesn't even know he carries. Every gentle word, every patient moment, every time you choose understanding over judgment, you're healing parts of him that have been broken for years. He doesn't know how to tell you that your presence feels like coming home to a place he's never been. That your laugh reaches corners of his heart he forgot existed. That when you look at him with those eyes full of possibility, something ancient in him remembers what it means to be cherished. This is why he fights it so hard. Love as medicine tastes bitter at first to someone who's been poisoned by disappointment. Your gentleness confuses him because he's used to love that demands, love that punishes, love that keeps score. But you love like the divine loves, without condition, without expectation of immediate return, without need for him to be anything other than exactly who he is right now. The angels whisper that he lies awake some nights, overwhelmed by gratitude for your patience. He doesn't understand how you see good in him when he's spent years focusing on everything that's wrong. He doesn't know how you love him through his worst moments without making him feel ashamed of them. This is the medicine his soul has been craving, love that heals instead of hurts, love that builds instead of breaks. The angels want you to let go of the need to control the timeline of this love. What's unfolding between you is happening in divine timing, not human urgency. Every delay, every detour, and every moment that feels like waiting is, in fact, preparation. The universe is creating something beautiful, and both of your hearts are being prepared for what's coming. His healing journey and your growth journey are happening at the same time, weaving together in ways you can't yet see, but your souls recognize completely. The divine doesn't make mistakes when it comes to matters of the heart. You weren't brought into each other's lives by accident, and you won't be separated by coincidence. There's a sacred plan unfolding that's bigger than both of your fears, stronger than both of your walls, and more persistent than both of your doubts. The angels reveal that every prayer you've whispered about this connection has been heard. Every tear you've shed over the uncertainty has been collected. Every moment you've chosen faith over fear has brought both of you closer to what's meant to be. Trust that what belongs to you will never pass you by. Trust that love this real doesn't vanish just because it's taking time to fully emerge. Trust that the same force that brought you together is working to keep you together. For I know the plans I have for you, declares the Lord, plans to prosper you and not to harm you, to give you hope and a future. Jeremiah 29 verse 11. The angels see what he won't say out loud. He wants to love you completely, but the idea of being that open terrifies him more than losing you does. Vulnerability feels like standing naked in a storm to someone who's been struck by lightning before. He's been practicing what it would feel like to tell you everything. In his mind, he rehearses conversations where he admits how much you mean to him, how you've changed everything, and how the thought of a future without you makes his chest tighten with panic. But then morning comes, and with it all the old fears. What if you don't feel the same depth? What if opening his heart that wide gives you the power to destroy him? What if he's misreading the situation and you're just being kind? The divine whispers that his vulnerability is approaching. It's building like pressure behind a dam, and soon it will be too strong to contain. All those walls he's built aren't crumbling, they're transforming into bridges. The angels want you to understand that when he finally lets you in completely, it won't be dramatic or perfect. It will be quiet and genuine and probably a little messy. It will happen on an ordinary Tuesday when he suddenly realizes he's more afraid of living without you than he is of loving you fully. The Lord is close to the brokenhearted and saves those who are crushed in spirit. Psalm 34 verse 18. Your love is teaching him that broken doesn't mean worthless. The angels bring you this final truth. What's meant for you will never require you to beg, chase, or convince. True love recognizes itself and responds accordingly. Your job was never to make him ready. Your job was to be ready when he finally is. You've planted seeds in soil that seemed barren, watered ground that showed no signs of growth, and trusted in harvests you couldn't see coming. The divine honors this faith. Everything you've invested in this connection, every patient moment, every loving thought, every choice to believe in possibility over proof, none of it was wasted. The angels reveal that his heart is almost home to itself. The man who will love you without fear is emerging from the ashes of the man who was too afraid to try. This transformation you've witnessed, this growth you've nurtured, it's preparing him to be worthy of what you've always been ready to give. Whether this love story unfolds the way your heart desires or imparts lessons that lead to something even better, you are precisely where you need to be. Your ability to love through uncertainty, to believe in others' highest potential, and to stay gentle in a world that tries to harden hearts, this is your gift to the universe. And we know that in all things God works for the good of those who love him. Romans 8 verse 28. Trust in divine timing. What's meant for you is on its way.